He just did three things in a row that I absolutely love. Is he trying to kill me? Like, somebody tell me for real, because if he is, then fine. I surrender. You can kill me. That is absolutely fine. What he did is that he took those really ugly sounding gasps of air where your voice breaks, which is just orgasmic. And then, I mean, can we just listen to it again? Let's just do that. Yeah. It's probably just better if we listen to it again. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Herrera here. I hope that you're all well. A massive part of getting to know and falling in love with a group for me is getting to know the individual members as well. For me, I do not want there to be any weakest link. I want to love them all individually, together. I don't want a bias. That is the overall aim. I think I was really loving Winner anyway, and then having dug into Yoon a little bit, I think that he has just surpassed everything that I was expecting. The depth that he has to his character, to his voice, and his story is beyond my wildest dreams. And you can probably already tell where this is going, but this is a Mino mini marathon. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. I almost didn't get through that. But you can probably already tell from my Winner reactions that Minnow is really catching my eye, and I have a real soft corner for rappers. And I'm really liking his style, his flow, his laziness, drunkenness, and his acting through rap. I really, really love that. And so I really didn't want to waste any time before putting this together. To find out what I am including in this video, please have a look at the description below. These are your recommendations. I'm going in blind, okay? To name a few of what are included in this would be Body, Tang, Fear, because you said that that was unmissable, and Drunk Talk, because I think somebody said that it was his best song. So I really am going in for a mixture of different things here. Some music videos, live performances, lyric videos. As always, we're talking about a rapper. We're talking about Minnow, who potentially writes all of his own stuff. So I need to have English subtitles when I'm putting together a reaction for him. And yeah, I'm super excited. I am starting off and I'm trying to go in kind of date year order to see a certain level of growth, I guess. But I'm starting off with Fear because YouTube tells me that this is the furthest back. So show me the money. This is somewhere, is this where he was discovered in the first place? This was prior to him coming into Winner and winning that show, right? Somebody please inform me in the comments below. And I can already see that this is featuring Taeyang, and I'm super duper excited to see what the two of them are going to do together. This is so crazy. Let's go.
There is no other reason. 겁이 나, 난 겁이 나. 뒤돌아봤을 때 생각보다 멀리 와 있어서 난 혼자였고 문득 겁이 났지. 내가 널 봤을 때 지쳐있단 사실 몰랐었어 난 외로웠고 문득 겁이 났지. 널 잘 알고 있어 헷갈릴 때면 여태 그랬던 것처럼 그냥 go 너답게 해 너는 너를 알아 연습했잖아 한 수천 번은 말야 좌절 한두 번 이제 시시해 원래 기회라는 건 인생의 위기에 넌 알잖아 다시 일어나는 법 천국 여행 간다면 어서 자 carry on.
This is so incredibly personal. Do you ever think about fame and becoming famous? I think a certain number of people want to go into these industries to become famous, and you don't really know what that means until you get there. Obviously, this is an individual that was really hungry not to be famous, but because he wanted to rap, because he wanted to perform, that is his initial passion. But just as a, like, I honestly wouldn't wish fame on even my enemy. It just sounds like the most horrible thing ever. Everybody that reaches a certain level just talks about how it's incredibly lonely and it's hard and your mental health really, really suffers. And yeah, I just feel so bad for everybody. I mean, people keep saying like the money, the money, the money. No, I really don't think that money means anything at all if you end up like this. But this is a real important aspect to this rapping, isn't it? Ugh. So harsh. He sounds like he's really hard on himself. I should have known. Taeyang always comes into a song and just brings a certain level of freshness into it. He's able to emote with his voice and having quite a thin voice as well. He's able to take the song to a certain different level, and it's quite nice because he's balancing out the song with Mino's quite harsh, depressing rap. He's bringing it. He's lifting the song ever so slightly. I know that his lyrics are not necessarily any brighter, but just the difference between the two voices is nice. It's a nice break to the ear and to the heart. This is absolutely crazy. So I will take this with a pinch of salt because I think you can elevate emotions to a certain level to create a song or a piece of art. So I'm not going to take this as gospel that this is how he was feeling, but there's obviously a certain amount of it that is his truth. And that is really harsh. I mean, for him to pen something like this is really harsh. To perform it, and also for his loved ones to hear this, it would not be pleasant to hear. To be his mum, it's not good. The pressure of not only wanting to do what you love, but to provide for your family too, at such a young age. See, this is what I was talking about in one of my previous Mino reactions, is that what kind of happens with idols, celebrities, is that as they gain popularity, as they start getting money, they kind of like they adorn themselves with these chains and these designer clothes and things like that. And what it actually does is it deflects from their personality. And especially someone as a rapper, like I always associate rap with someone who is able to really put it down on paper, really put it out there, like talk about harsh subjects, dark subjects, and really just write monologues. That's what they do. And I think that when you become famous, when you try to become this idol, a certain level of that passion, that fire, your story does have to die. And that's really sad. And a lot of artists do get to that point where it becomes monotonous, it becomes boring, they start sounding like everybody else. And I really hope that that never happens with Minnow because I'm super early in this journey, but can I say that he's incredibly special? He had this grit and this fire from day one. He's obviously lived a real life, right? Had real struggles, um, both like in the industry, outside of the industry, within himself as a person and personality. But I just hope that he never reaches a point where he loses that, right? He loses that rawness. That's what I would hate for him to lose. People sell out, don't they? Is that his dad? It is so hard. I'm getting all emotional already. This is performance number 1, and I am already becoming an emotional mess. I think it's really tough to have that connect between what you've become as an idol, as a famous person, as a celebrity, and your parents, because there's just such a detached. There's so many parts of the industry and of your life that they don't know, and you almost don't want them to know of your struggles as well, because you're at the end of the day, you're doing it for them, for a better life for all of you. Um, and that disconnect, it's really heartbreaking, because how are they then to advise you? They can only bring you back to morals and upbringing, can't they? They can't actually give you physical advice, and so like how to stay true to yourself as such, because that industry moves so fast. You do, to a certain extent, have to sell out to keep up with the trends and to keep your listeners engaged. But it's just so difficult as well. I have to say, what I am loving about K-pop and about everything that I am seeing, like dramas, what I see of their culture, they really respect their elders. They are so emotionally attached to their families, to their siblings, and that's something that I really relate to, because I've had this like mix of my cultural background is like that, but then growing up in England, where at the age of like 15, 16, you're on your own, like it's been such a mix of different things where I've had this tug of my family of not wanting to let go, but then I've been bullied for it in school, because people are like, you're grown up now, like why the hell are you still like walking around and going for tea and coffee with your mum? Like, 'cause that's what happens here. It's not cool to be seen with your parents. But I'm like, but culturally, that's what's right for me, that's what feels right. And it's really hard that like trying to mishmash those two worlds together. And my experience is like so basic in this sense. I'm just trying to say that like trying to make two worlds come together, and I'm only talking culture here, is so hard. So imagine bringing two worlds of being a normal human being, a normal working class person, and being a crazy celebrity who's on TV all the time, whose personal life is dissected like so much. Try and bring those two worlds together. Try and stay connected. How do the parents feel? How does his family feel? And this is what I mean. Right, what I said at the beginning. If I was his parents and I was listening to this and I was still taking it with a pinch of salt, I would be distraught that my son had written lyrics like this, right? I am sorry I talk so much.
종교를 떠나서 6년 전부터 이 꼬맹이를 이용하려 했던 나도 대표님들조차 날 구원해준 지금 이 회사도 이 모델을 내어줄 수많은 참가자도 남자의 삶을 알려준 아들에게 시큰한 파도 가족 내 어깨들과 형제 같은 멤버들도 나고는
Thank you, Taeyang. I love that flip in the lyrics. Listen to that. That was absolutely awesome. Would you say that Mino is quite positive? He's realistic, but he's positive.
I love you.
Oh, his vocals. I know this is not a Taeyang reaction video, but I just want to appreciate that man. That man is a god. He just comes in, he fits right in, he doesn't overshadow at all, and his vocals are just top tier. He is stunning. I am in love with Taeyang. I feel like I've already learned so much about Mino from this performance alone, and I'll look to you to inform me in the comments below a little bit more about his personality, because yes, he seems to be quite hard on himself, but as I said, he's truthful, he's honest, he's realistic, but he's positive. He's a good guy, right? And I think this is, if you watched my winner reactions, this is like the thought that I had of him. Because of his look, I thought that he was this hardcore rapper that just rapped about girls and money and sex and drugs. And actually, the more that I'm learning of him, he's really grateful. He's quite grounded. He is complicated. But he's a good kid. I am absolutely loving this, and I can't wait to continue on this. I am just going to continue this just to see if there's anything that I'm about to skip. Or is it just him being grateful?
Thank you.
Cute. No, okay, so moving on. I'm looking forward to seeing him with black hair. I think he looks delicious with black hair. Dude. This is so moody. This is hotter than I was expecting. How stylized is his voice? If that was any other rapper, I would name them, but as I have said many times before, the minute I name anybody, and the people that I have in mind, I will literally be assassinated. But I'm imagining certain rappers rapping this, and it would be bloody boring. But the fact that his voice is so textured, and like that he sounds like a man, you know, it just sounds so good. Even though when you listen to the beat, it's really simple. Why? Why does he do this to me? Disgusting. Those lyrics, he wrote this himself, right? He may just be a lyrical genius.
I'm talking about your mom, I'm talking about your daddy, I'm talking about your lips, I'm talking about your 머리부터 발끝까지. I'm talking about your mom, I'm talking about your everything. 근데 난 어딨어?
How dare he be this hot? Like, this was not what I was expecting. Wow. This man. Please. That is one delicious man. Woo. What the hell is happening? Is this how we all fall in love with him? Listen, the song is not as sexual as I was thinking. Like, it's suggestive. It's taking you in that direction. I think the visuals are doing a whole lot of effort to push you in that direction. However, just listening to that, even with the lyrics, it's not so in your face. It's not overly sexual. There's not loads of innuendos, lots of double meanings in there. It's kind of like you can make of it what you want, which is quite nice. So it means you can kind of listen to it without it being overly sexy. Do you know what I mean?
We were beautiful 우리도 찰떡궁합도 보고 싶어 너의 허리춤에 타투가 아직 작업실에 있어 그때 그 락구락고 피곤하면 들려 하루만 자고 I got everything you need 죽겠어 너 때문에 넌 killer
Why do I feel like he's not really like this? I mean, he must like girls. Girls must love him. But I feel like maybe he's a little bit shy. And this is like a performance persona, right? Because this is crazy. Or is he actually like this?
I'm talking about your mom. I'm talking about your daddy. I'm talking about your lips.
I love that. I don't know if it's supposed to be a play on words because obviously in English it sounds like mum and daddy. But I just love that. I don't know why. That really stuck in my head from the first time as well. Great.
양심애가 check 나를 찔러 친구는 널 내 X라고 불러 난 더 섹시하게 발음하고 싶어 I'm talking about your mom I'm talking about your daddy I'm talking about your lips I'm talking about your 머리부터 발끝까지 I'm talking about your mom I'm talking about your everything 근데 난 어딨어 그리워 너의 몸 간지러운 숨소리 I need you babe 생각나 어렵고
I bet he's great as well. I can just tell.
You know I can't for you.
This must be so awkward to film. Okay, a great song. So sexy. I was not ready for that whatsoever. I have no idea what has just happened to me, but I feel all giddy. I have butterflies. I think I have a crush on him. I think I had a crush on him before anyway, but after this, I'm just like, my God. My only problem with this is can we see his face? I get the mystery and I get all of that, but actually, do you not think that he is really handsome? He has such a striking face, really glowy skin, and he has really nice eyebrows as well, really thick, expressive eyebrows. And I really like his eyes. They're kind of slanted in a way. So it makes him look a little bit harsh. And also his general face without smiling is quite stark. It's quite if he was staring at you, you would be quivering, that kind of a face. But actually, he's got a really cutesy smile underneath all of that. So his face is really nice to look at, and I really hate it. It frustrates me when people don't use people's faces enough. And I think that his face was wasted in that. I really wanted to see it, use his lips, use his eyes. But as a song, I love how vague it is. I love you can kind of make it as sexy as you want, or you could just groove to this. You could listen to this in the club. You can listen to this whilst baby making. You could kind of do what you want with it. Do you know what I mean? But I think, yeah, I'm loving the play on words, the lyrics, and how it's just not overly sexy. Again, he's breaking down those initial thoughts that I had of him, thinking that everything would be about sex, really direct sex. And actually, it's not. It's a little bit more reserved than that. And it's quite nice, especially coming from a man that looks like that, right? I think at the end of this reaction, I'm probably just going to ask, who is the real Mino? Because I can't tell. I think it's going to be near impossible for me to actually tell what he is actually like. That was a lot more fun, a little bit light. I think that the visuals added a lot to that song as well. I will have to re-listen to that without the visuals. I think it's definitely catchy, but it makes it a little bit more moody, the visuals do. But yeah, that was another great song, and I heard lots of different rap styles in that. Some which I was not expecting, especially that little end section. That was something I was not expecting from him. But I want him to do reggae. I want him to sing Latin kind of stuff, rap in Latin style. I just feel like he can probably do everything and he'll sound really good. I like that he doesn't stick to one style. With rappers, sometimes they stick with one or two styles because that's what they can do, that's what they feel comfortable doing, which is absolutely fine. There's no knocking that. But he likes to push himself, and I really like that. Like, this is definitely a rapper who is right up my street. What is he running away from?
소미가 빠지잖아 샤도 좁아지잖아
Oh,
눈에 뵈는 게 없어 널 삼킬지
please, I have a crush on this man. Would you look at him? I have butterflies in my stomach. Right, now focus.
떠오르네 마구 우리의 담소 알코올에 담겨 추억을 섞어
Mm.
널 잔뜩 마시고 나 비틀거리고
I love his physicality. So, despite being a reasonably young guy, he's built up this movement and this style of moving his hands, his arms, his shoulders, and everything that is so distinct to him. And I really love that. And I think that that is often an ingredient that is missing from rappers. So, they might have a really nice rap flow, a tone, they can rap for days without breathing, but they miss that personality quality. And he definitely has this personality, which is so alluring, it's addictive, it just makes you want more.
도망가
Oh,
가가가가 도망가 가가가가 도망가 가가가가 도망가 내게로부터 멀리
love the mix of the real life, the animation, the special effects, his styling, everything about that. Whoa, like there's just so much to take in here.
가버려 코빼기도 보이지 않게 이름도 바꾸고 성형도 잔뜩 해서 혹여 잔뜩
Oh.
채널 찾아다닐 때 코앞에 두고도 못 알아보게 금두리보다 내가 포기하게 아니면 우린 다툴게 뻔
He just did three things in a row that I absolutely love. Is he trying to kill me? Like, somebody tell me for real, because if he is, then fine. I surrender. You can kill me. That is absolutely fine. What he did is that he took those really ugly sounding gasps of air where your voice breaks, which is just orgasmic. And then, I mean, can we just listen to it again? Let's just do that. Yeah. It's probably just better if we listen to it again. And then he rapped. Okay, I'm so excited right now. Can you see? And then he rapped without taking a breath. Like, I'm going to need him to perform that live so I can verify that he actually did that in one take. But I'm pretty sure that he did. And then he did the actual breathing on the track. So, three of my most favorite things. Let's go. Let's go.
내게로부터 멀리 가버려 코빼기도 보이지 않게 이름도 바꾸고 성형도 잔뜩 해서 혹여 잔뜩 채널 찾아다닐 때 코앞에 두고도 못 알아보게 금두리보다 내가 포기하게 아니면 우린 다툴게 뻔 여지 주지 말고 컷 기억은 편집증이 되려 해 조증의 파동 위아래로 심해지매진해지는 위스키 언더 락내 손에 쥐네 네 계정에 올라온 의미심자가 그래 휘둥그레 눈에 쌈지불이 분내 고고학자처럼 구네 그래 내가 먼저
His
도망가
lyrics.
찢겨진 모양 따 슬픔이 자리 찾아 굳어지기 전에 나 도망가
I do wonder the kind of person that becomes a rapper, and especially a rapper that writes their own stuff, because you need to have such an understanding of language. Because if I don't know, if your intellect and if your education hasn't stretched you to a point where you even know that some words exist, how are you ever going to be able to, like, you can't just Google it. Do you know what I mean? You can't just open up a thesaurus and be like, what rhymes with this? You need to have a real understanding of everything. And I mean, he mentioned so many different things there that make me think that this man he's lived a life. He reads books, really like intellectual stuff. He understands different things. So, I mean, like he mentioned bipolar there. So, to understand illnesses, oh, whoops. Would you see that? I happened to just rewind it right the way back. What a shame.
가버려 코빼기도 보이지 않게 이름도 바꾸고 성형도 잔뜩 해서 혹여 잔뜩 채널 찾아다닐 때 코앞에 두고도 못 알아보게 금두리보다 내가 포기하게 아니면 우린 다툴게 뻔 여지 주지 말고
See, bipolar race. See, so it's an understanding of a lot of different subjects because you can't just say something. Well, you can, but you can't really, in my opinion anyway, say something just for a cool effect. Like when you really, like for me, when I look into lyrics, if something is a bit cheesy, I'm just like, oh, they literally did that because it rhymed with that. But this is not somebody that does that. Mino clearly has an understanding of a lot of different subjects. Therefore, he is able to put together lyrics like this. Because even just to talk about archaeology, you can't just do that because it's cool or because it goes with the flow of the sentence. Do you know what I mean? Like, you really need to know what an archaeologist does. Like, for me, anyway, in my opinion, maybe it's not as deep as that, but I like that he has the confidence to go in this, and I think that now I'm understanding. See, like making reaction videos and doing stuff like this and discovering artists as wonderful as Mino is fantastic for me because I'm really able to like mark out and understand the kind of artists that I like. So I love rappers, but it kind of ends for me where those rappers only talk about sex, drugs, alcohol. This is somebody who talks about a lot more than that. He talks about mental health. He talks about a lot of different subjects. You know what I mean? So, like, now I'm carving out this shape of a rapper who does a little bit of everything. And it's the subject matter that's more important to me, where you're given more syllables, where you're given many more lyrics in a song because you're rapping. It kind of needs to make sense. It needs to come from somewhere. It needs to have a message, much more than a singer. So I think being a rapper, I'm much more harsh with rappers. And basically, the moral of the story is that he's fantastic. And how simple is this chorus? But that's all that it needs to be. He didn't overdo it. He doesn't need to say what he is running away from or towards. And I love this. He is getting more and more out of breath as the song goes on. This is so clever. I'm in love with this man's mind. Forget his gorgeous face and that body. I love his mind. 나만 뜨겁게 왔다 갔다 반복해 이별은 romance 사랑은 runaway 특별한 기억을 주면 너는 감동해 다시 아물 내 마음에 왔다 감이라 정해 그러면 나는 경찰처럼 널 잡으러 나만 뜨겁게 왔다 갔다 반복해 이별은 romance 사랑은 runaway 특별한 기억을 주면 너는 감동해 다시 아물 내 마음에 왔다 감이라 정해 그러면 나는 경찰처럼 널 잡으러 갈래 더 구속하기 전에 저 멀리 도망가 눈앞에서 사라져 제발 도망가 The desperation. That was absolutely fantastic. Is that now my favorite song that I've reacted to so far? I cannot pick. I think Drunk Talk is still up there. This is a different kind of great. This is a little bit more to my like daily side, like something that I'd listen to all the time regularly on repeat, and Drunk Talk is a little bit more of a mood song. This was so great lyrically. This was fantastic, and actually he gives this air of being an older man, which I really like. I think I like that life experience. I find that attractive. So strip away these visuals, the fantastic music video that really added to the feel of the song, strip that away and just listen to his voice. It screams experience, well read, well traveled, well educated, lived a real life. And that, above anything, above any visual, above any lip ring, is so attractive. That hair, he is such a chameleon. That was What the Fox. What the Fox.
같은 표정으로 what the fuck say 잘 안 들려 통장 사본 보여주면 난 몰래 넌 대체 어떻게 공략하면 되니 예술 공부 정화는 충분하다니까 입만 벌려 스테이크 나라 들어간다 붕붕 아름다워 안 아까워 money's power.
Who the hell is this? He's so different. He really is a chameleon. He has just been so many things throughout the reaction video. I honestly don't know who he is. That chorus is so simple, but how nice does that sound? I almost want to hear that a cappella without all the music because he's got that huskiness, he's got that airiness in his nose, and like I said, that twang, his ability to flip his voice right to the front of his face, and it sounds so good, so like spiky, on edge. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I was not ready. He's about to switch it on.
뭐가 문제야 난 그냥 즐기면 되고 보석을 래퍼들처럼 온몸에 뱅뱅 두르고 부르고 블랙 택시만을 그리고 식사는 미슐랭으로 그 모든 게 상황 크레딧 카드로 모든 게 불필요해질 때까지 무조건 일십.
Does he breathe?
써지게 like money 부담 갖지 마 영원히 그 대신 해줘 나의 꾀꼬리 너 등 보이면 바로 back again.
What is he?
그냥 내 마음 표현이라고 받아줘 준비 장전 그리고 발사
Dude, when is he going to collaborate with all of my favorite English speaking rappers? Like, when is that going to happen? Somebody please let me know because this is almost unfair. Oh. Suddenly he becomes all sexy. Oh. For me, breathing, talking, lip rings, tattoos.
마음을 사고 싶은 너를 꼬실 방법 좀난 무식해서 여자 마음을 잘 몰라 뭔지까지 해야 되니 날 피하지 말아 또 상처받고 싶지 않아 이렇게까지 해도 다시 넌 내 가슴에
This is awesome. Right. I honestly don't know what to say at this point. That was an incredibly catchy song. That gave me like worldwide vibes because that was, if that was in English, it would be on the charts. People would be listening to it. You know what I mean? It's one of those. It's just like a big tick. Um, I love that he changes up his voice. Do you know what? He has this really different aura about him. So I don't think that I'm overly visual. I do really like to listen to stuff. I think in my day-to-day life, I listen to more stuff than I watch. And he has this really sexy aura. And even when he looks like that, so necessarily like looking at him, I wouldn't say that he looks incredibly sexy. Like he doesn't have to display flesh. He doesn't have to have that black hair, right? But there's something about his swag, about the way that he is unstable on his feet, yet he is stable, that is so attractive. That package that he is yeah, I have a crush on him. I have a crush on Mino.
도망가!
Where are you going?
안녕하세요. 테이크 제 두 번째 정규 앨범 도망가로 돌아온 송민호입니다. 반갑습니다. 드디어 이렇게 킬링버스에 나오게 됐는데요.
He has a
뭐
nice
많이
speaking
준비했지만
voice.
재미있게 끝까지 즐겨 주시면 좋겠고요. 뒷부분에 제 이번 앨범 신곡도 그리고 타이틀곡도 있으니까 끝까지 봐주시길 바라겠습니다. 그러면 바로 시작할게요. Let's go.
Featuring. So whose song is this? Ugh. He just always looks like he's having so much fun.
안녕하세요, 송민호입니다. 제가 이번에
So Scooby. That was awesome. A really nice display of the difference that he can bring to his voice. He really knows how to get there. And I think that that comes with exploring your voice quite a bit, spending quite a bit of time in the training world. Do you know what I mean? Like as a trainee and going through lots of different experiences. So he's been through different reality shows, different experiences as an artist, and worked under different people. So even like vocal coach wise, I think it sounds as though he's been with somebody who's been like, try it like this, try it like that. And actually, he's gone for it and it really works. And he is able to get there too, you know?
Yeah, rockin'. Are you ready? Choice. Yeah.
He has a really expressive forehead, like this part of his face.
All day so high, down okay, ayy. Don't like a NASA, 가겠네, 타, 내드네, 타, 내드네. 3, 2, 1, 발사.
Please.
Rocket. Rocket 타고 발사, rocket 타고 발사, ayy.
Just look at what he is doing. Stop it.
Rocket tackle bison, rocket tackle bison, ain't feels so good. Rocket tackle bison, rocket tackle bison, yeah.
So everything in your mouth affects the way that your sound comes out, and he has really perfect top teeth. I'm not sure about his bottom teeth. Like, this is how specific I'm getting. Are they a little bit uneven? I feel like the sound, it sounds like something's stopping it from coming out. It's really, really nice. Or maybe like his top teeth heavy, so he really has to push through his top teeth. And also another thing that I get from listening to him rap in so many different ways, it almost sounds as though his tongue is too big for his mouth. And it's so nice. Like that's what gives it the laziness. And the thing is, it gives him the laziness, the drunkenness. But when he needs to rap quickly, he can flick that tongue up and down really quick. I'm sorry that I'm getting so specific.
Okay. Yeah. 됐은가 살다 못뭐 홀리 바보 애매해 15년 7월 10일 3절 말씀 지고 회개 난 신나의 그리스도다 몸에
Honestly, the microphones that they have for this program is fantastic.
채워진 캘린더 빙고 비워진 하루는 작업실로 이동 스튜디오 문짝인 heaven welcome 밑쪽 조그맣게 devil only 야범에만 walking 조마 bitch 좋긴 나는 walker only walker only 잠재력 아기 버릇을 잠 따위 sweep-on 속재력이 true talent 수원에 나 뭐든지 call me your mighty song let's face it I'm pretty man I'm not gonna agree 너는 너고 그 깊이가 뻗어 18.18년도 님이 18년도 쯤에 날 보면 지금 이런 말 못할 걸 보장된 성공 회사발이라는 진
Remind me that I need to listen to this song. Look at that lineup.
자들의 여공 날 씹어뜯어 바로 까먹어 붕어처럼 밥금 락비에서 나와 발을 데뷔하고 fucked up 실력으로 여기 완난 바닥에서 turn up 근데도 몰라 나의 컨셉 뒤에 가니 monster 텁텁했는데 잘 됐네 am I no choose boy 그래 내가 계속 손해봐 뺨을 후려치는 태도 비트를 막는 짐승이가 날 깎아내려봤자 가벼워지는 내 두발 엘도만
It really has that homeless rich person look going on, doesn't he? See what I mean about his teeth? The minute he dropped his voice down a little bit and he started rapping through his bottom teeth, his teeth are a little bit jagged, they're a little bit uneven, and it just gives me that feel of the sound is a little bit different when he drops it down there. And actually, if you were to put both of his teeth together, there's not much of a gap there. So there's not that much air escaping. The air that's then escaping is through his nose, giving him that nasal kind of a sound, that twang once again. He's very nasal. It's so nice. I just love that he is in his own world. I want to be in that world. How do I get on? Like that whistle. His hair does kind of look like Krusty the Clown though. Wrong colour, but... He has pretty lips, doesn't he?
Okay. Yeah. 해검 너 훔쳐볼 때면 나의 버렘 베검 다리 떨지 말라며 허벅지 외로 잡아준 네 손이 좋아 뜨뜨르 개고 내 심장은 초무쳐 wiggle fucking time 다가워 문득 내 모습이 아이 같아워.
It's really rare for me to hear actual swearing from Korean idols. They just don't do it, and I really love this. It's one thing that I really miss when I listen to Korean songs. See, when he made that sound, it was different because his bottom teeth really affected the sound. Oh, and see what I mean? It's not a lisp, but his tongue is too big for his mouth. Really. Those gasps of air.
You know.
Look at how much control he has over his voice. He literally delivered that whole section to us, stood in the same position, hand in pocket, one hand moving, and actually there was nothing else really going on, no major effort being put in there. It's all in here, and it's all in here. Like he's memorized it. He knows exactly how to access every part of his voice. That is somebody who's really seasoned, who is... Again, who has trained, been behind the scenes, been in a studio for a very long time before being given this opportunity. Dude is grooving to his own dance songs. Like, please, get you a man that does that. Is his own biggest fan? His bottom lip is thicker than his top lip. It's quite nice. I feel like Korean men sometimes have it the other way around.
Cold Kunst. Stronger. 금속 Mino. I'm gonna be stronger than Hercules. Never die like a zombie. 누가 날 막아가며 왜냐면 나는 금송아지. 나는 금송아지. Stronger than Hercules.
I'll tell you that it is difficult right now for me to believe that this is the same guy that's a part of Winner, that sings I Love You, and does those cutesy dance routines. Like, really? This, to me, comes across as a real hardcore rapper, and this is the image that I had of him prior to getting into Winner. I know I keep going on about his teeth, but I can't help it. But it's these on the side, so they like point out, right? And so then they affect the shape of the tongue. Like, I've studied all of this at university at drama school, so that I think this is why I'm really interested in that and where the sound comes from. That it affects the shape of his tongue and how his breath then escapes his mouth, and that is what is giving him this fantastic sound. So, like, sometimes when you get people that make it and they have these Hollywood smiles and these different teeth put in, it suddenly affects the way that they sound, and I really hate that. An example of that would be Post Malone. He suddenly has these crazy teeth, and it has slightly affected how he sounds. I still love it. I'm still here for it. I love his teeth, right? But he sounds a little bit different than he did. Moral of the story, don't mess with your face, don't mess with your teeth, unless they're affecting your ability to breathe, eat, etc. Because all of those aspects make you unique, and that's what this man is.
Hey. Yo, shit. Machine gun. Machine gun.
I love that.
Long time no see. 그게 나 뭉쳐봐봐 쉼이 없는 만큼 통장에 쉼표를 달아 FCL War 급히 시계 거꾸로 자지 아차차 주말엔 한국에 없으니까 날 찾지 마 대중 노래하는 놈을 랩하는 게 싫다면 귀를 막어 아니 아예 친구들은 많아지만 애기가 나오니까 입을 닫아 아니 아예 이불 속에 누워서 과자 뜨고 편안하게 TV 틀어 그 다음에 엠넷 들어버린 내가 나와요 하던 대로 밥을 달아 oh yeah push push baby Mino Fiancé we got 총 세자루 니들 머리 있는 관역 클릭 서울시 한가운데 벌어진 반역 달빛관에 고개 숙여 우리 해지 소리 버다다당 like a jet plane 반면에 인적한 search engine 구글 밖에 비온다 주룩주룩 우리 셋은 거라고 뭐 구름 이를 모습은 없어 근돈이 선호공 우리가 먹는 것은 뚜뚜뚜뚜 진분증은 없어 I go look go 행보는 여자 앞에서나 해 I'll make go
There is so much to take in putting together a performance like this. This is a seasoned performer. There is so much wordage in this performance. It's a 15-minute performance, but there is so much in here in comparison to if you were a singer. The focus, you cannot lose it even for a split second. At the beginning of this, he did something that I've not seen him do in any of those songs previously. His eyes went everywhere. He changed his focus. He changed his adapt. He changed his approach to that song. His eyes went a little bit crazy, and for a minute I was like, oh, did he mess up? But he didn't. He was getting into the feel of this song. It was a little bit scatty, a little bit messy. He was going wild a minute. He was having an exorcism performed on him, and I love that. In the feel, in the moment, that focus.
Yeah, epic guy.
He collaborated with Epic High.
I got me darling 쉽게 알아서 헤엄치니 take care of yourself chicken 다리 먼저 기타 걱정이 나의 몸질이 이미지야 이리 잘하니 zip your lips 대장인 척해도 소화 못해 거기서 check it 쉬운 게 아니야 모든 놈 맞춰겠기 check it motherfuckers my levels motherfucker만 써도 있지 현미다 하는 shit 맘에 알도 모르는 대중은 프로듀서가 됐고 농사 짓는 농은 삼촌인 거 얘도 대적될 거 조가는 평같아도 내가 네 안주거리지만 내가 너그 상상 너그 선생 아니듯이 너그들이 누구인가 하면
song.
내 사생활이 궁금하면 니까 내 엄마의 새끼야 알겠어?
That song, someone remind me. I need to listen to that song.
손이 닿으면 이건 연금 수익 내 손이 닿으면 이건 연금 수익 내 손이 닿으면 이건 연금 수익 내 손이 닿는 것마다 다 전부 빛나
What would you like to happen to you? I would like to live forever.
Wait, maybe rap인지 7개월만 보고 싶었어 fan and friends 오늘이 개학날 방학된 염색도 해보고 일보러 해외 감 그리고 연금술 하늘아 벌써 busy watch I mean it's like I make money 한국어로 돈 버리제 말 혼자 본 주위 맞아 MZ 내 턱에 녹 뿌리 그 뿌리에서 들리는 금괴물이
Can I just tell you that my watch is vibrating at me because it's saying that my heart rate is getting really high? It's because I'm getting really mad. I'm mad at Mino because he's so damn good. Like I'm seeing so many different sides to him. This is fantastic. His control over his mouth, that freaking mouth, that's the moneymaker.
소리 킹킹 펀치라인 범벅이래 마법진에서 여성장 돈 따발을 23일에 꺼내 바늘 때 가족 생활 비매달 자동이 체아들은
Do you know the thing is with rappers, a lot of people can sing, even if you can't sing fantastically, like to be on a world stage, a lot of people can sing like in everyday to-day life. You'll come across people that are just humming and you're like, you can hold a tune, it's nice, it's pretty. But with rappers, not everybody can do that. And nobody, like barely anybody can do it to the extent that he is doing it right now. Like I can name you probably 2 other people that make me feel the way that he is making me feel. And I really just want to get in there and slap him. Stop it.
등각연의 법칙에 이거 영혼을 발견해 Nobody knows about 내 보면 애가 저가대 자고 싶어도 이것이 연금술 다 하다가 역효과 It's like 수익이면
He's such an actor. Nobody enjoys their own songs like Mino.
이건 그냥 노래니까 리듬 Welcome to K-Town 이번에 뭐든 하지만 마실 땐 니하오 봉주루 술은 두 손으로 받아 어른들과 술을 마실 땐 하지만 오늘은 코끼리 거하고 마셔도 돼 옷차림새
I love those crazy eyes.
유니폼을 입었잖아 이 집에 들은 체리는 나보다 나쁜 애가 없지 넘어지면서 납치 For the world처럼 터지는 사이클 근데 안해 하지만
He really is a hardcore rapper, isn't he?
할 시간이 없어 속에 딱 뺏지 말고 들이대 시끄러우니까 손으로 이번에 제 신곡입니다. Let's go.
That was so sexy.
Okay, how you like that? 나 기분은 cap. When I back rap, your pussy. Oh shit, you look at that. Never sound like that. 눈이 동그랑땡. Okay, oh man. 넌 swap 못해. 나 같은 건 나도 level from on my bed. Okay, oh shit, hey, 희망, 너의 본명이. Okay, two SLT 이거 간만에 homie 빠방에서 시계값을 몰감해 flexing 녹인 개뿔이 다시 돈 벌라 이제 컴퓨터를 켜고 no temporary 모닝 파적이 파이테닝은 한것 같이 눈 미친 색감해줘도 작업은 non-stop yeah oh delivery 코팡맨 oh
Does he act? He's such an actor. This is unbelievable. He's literally acting throughout this. Suddenly he'll change up the mood, his expressions will change, and he'll deliver you the lines not just the way that they're written, like he's acting them out. If it's a question, he's asking you a question. And that's what I love about watching any of these. So Killing Voice, Killing Verse, the way that they're recorded, the voices themselves, the microphone, but then also with the camera as well. You can really see what is going on in there. Like you can see I feel like this is a real insight into his mind.
너무 둔탁해 My flow so take my seat 속에 총 구멍내 우레사 오뚜기 중심의 성민호 쓰러져버려도 예술로 Okay let's go 민호 버린 공처럼 중간만 가도 평타인 바닥에 난 맨날 홀인원 타이틀곡 도망가입니다 에이 샤도 좁아지잖아 눈에 뵈는 게 없어 널 삼킬지 몰라 떠오르네 맘
I feel like at some point through his life, he always had this, right? But it needed to be unleashed. So on the side of this, I am watching the program that Winner won, right? Win Who Is Next. And in that, he has this. He's a little bit more reserved, a little bit more polite, well-spoken. But there was a point, some point throughout this journey where you realize how to unlock that. Yeah. And I think that only then can you really make it in an industry and can you then like bring on board fans is when you can unlock this other part of yourself. So he's not like this all the time. You'd be crazy to think that he is always like this. This is a performance quality that he can unlock. And I think that without making comparisons, a completely different person on their own, unrelated to this, that I want to use as an example of who can do that really well is G Dragon. When you look at him as a personality, as a real life person, and then you look at him performing on stage, they're so different. He knows how to and when to switch that performance quality on. And that I am seeing in Mino as well. So he has this ability to switch it on, switch it up, switch it down. And that is what makes, that's an X factor, right? That is the X factor. And that is why he is signed to a label and why he is famous today, because they saw that. They lapped it up. They waited for him to develop that, to hone those skills. And he did it. He reached that level. He is outstanding. He gives you this feel of he is so complicated that you have no idea what is going on inside that mind. However, in real life, he might be a little bit more simple than that. So you end up having this pull and tug of you're not really sure of who he is, and you're constantly trying to find out. And by the time you get to that point, you're in really deep. Oh, come on. Oh.
아니면 우린 다툴 게 뻔히 이름도 바꾸고 성형도 잔뜩 해서 혹여 잔뜩 채널 찾아다닐 때 코앞에 누구도 못 알아보게 금그리만 하다가 포기하게
Who did that in one
아니면
breath?
우린 다툴 게 뻔히 여지 주지 말고 컷 그 기억은 편집 증이 되려 해 조증의 파동 위아래로 심해지면 진해지는
How nice was that he actually withheld that word, because it just is a reminder this is live. It almost doesn't sound it because of the clarity of the microphone. It almost doesn't sound it, but I love that.
아니면 우린 다툴 게 뻔히 여지 주지 말고 컷 그 기억은 편집 증이 되려 해 조증의 파동 위아래로 심해지면 진해지는 위스키 in the rock 내 손에 쥐는 이 계정에 올라오는 심장은 그래 휘둥그레 눈에 잠시 불이 붙네.
That chewiness. So what he's doing is he's tucking his lower teeth behind his upper teeth, and he's delivering us the line almost with gritted teeth. They're not gritted like that. They're gritted slightly differently, and that sound and the escaping of the air from that is so nice. And actually, it might not even be a clear tuck because his teeth are uneven on the bottom. The tuck is different. It's giving us such a different sound.
감사합니다.
Look at those cheeks. Oh no! Did he trip? Wow. Yeah, he was in control for the entirety of that, and then he tripped at the end. That was fantastic. So, like I kept saying, that I had this thought of him, and throughout the winner stuff, he kind of was breaking that down. And the beginning of all of this, he broke all of that down. He broke all of those layers down, and I was like, hold on, that's not what I thought he was. And then all of a sudden, watching that, he also is everything that I thought he was. It's just that he's a little bit more deeper than that. He has a lot of different sides than just this. But it's nice to see him as a hardcore rapper too. This was incredibly impressive. I think if I had watched this first, I won't lie to you, I don't know if I would have been sucked in. But the mixture of what this is and of his other solo stuff and what he is in Winner is what is really just an attention grabber for me. I think he is amazing, and I can clearly see that he's going to make his way into my heart and into my one of my favorite rappers, clearly, because he's so special. I am loving the chewiness, the laziness, his tongue, his teeth, his package, the visual that he is, but the fact that he kind of hides it. He's good looking. He's traditionally good looking, but he hides behind these crazy haircuts and these outfits. And I kind of like that. There's a shyness somewhere, a unwillingness to be that raw self. And that is really attractive. He is sexy without showing a damn bit of flesh. His voice is sexy, but he's also dopey. He is silly. He is an actor. And that is what I am loving. Please comment below and talk to me about all of these songs, all of these performances. There is clearly so much more that I need to listen to, and I need your help. Where do I go from here for both Winner and for Mino? Wow. Thank you so much for those recommendations. I could not have put this together without you, and I could not be falling more in love with Winner without you and all of your comments and your suggestions. Thank you so much for joining me for that reaction. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to my channel for lots more content. Like the video if you liked it, of course. And until I see you next time, take care. Stay safe. Bye.